Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and I'm a part-time reseller on places like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. A lot of my subscribers may know that I developed a web application called Thrifters Scorecard. For those of you who are new or might just be passing through, welcome. I'm so glad that you have found me today, and I'll give you a little brief overview of what Thrifters Scorecard is. It's a simple web application built specifically for the reseller to help manage their inventory and their sales by automating the calculations and just saving you a lot of time so you don't have to hassle around with bulky spreadsheets and calculators and notebooks and the like when it comes to bookkeeping. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned and feel free to give me a thumbs up. And if you're a reseller and like following other resellers or learning more about reselling in general, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. So here we are on the Thrifters Scorecard homepage. This is what you see before you sign up or log in. It does give you a little overview of kind of what the application does. So you can see it's a web application built specifically for resellers. It's built to take the place of your traditional spreadsheet system for bookkeeping, meaning the endless rows of information, and then this two separate spreadsheets, maybe one for inventory and one for sales. Kind of all of that is packaged up inside Thrifters Scorecard. And on top of that, Thrifters Scorecard will do a lot of the calculations and math for you when it comes to calculating your profit and your earnings for every sale. So that's a little bit about what it does, and you feel free to check it out for yourself at thrifterscorecard.com. I will definitely link that in the description down below. It is $7.99 a month, but it comes with a 30-day free trial, and feel free to use the code GARDEN, all capital letters, and that'll give you 15% off your first month, which is awesome. Okay, so the point of today's video is to actually show you how to upload your inventory when you get started. So I'm just going to log in. All right, so I'm logging in, and when you log in, this will be the first page you see. It shows you all the different places you can navigate within the app. So we're going to want to add inventory. Now there's a couple different ways that you can add inventory. You can add things one at a time, which is, how you would do it if you go thrifting and you come back and you have to enter all of your items somewhere, whether you're writing them down in a notebook or entering them in a spreadsheet. This step will take place of that, so you can enter one item at a time here. Or you're brand new to Thrifters Scorecard and you have a whole spreadsheet of your own data that you've been using in Excel or Google Sheets, and you want to import that into the app. So that's what actually today's video is, and I will show you how to do. So you can get to the upload page a couple different ways, either by clicking here at the bottom of the Add Inventory page, or simply just head on over to your account page here, and you'll have a bunch of different settings and things like changing your email or whatever, and changing your goal, and then you'll scroll down to the uploading data section. Now there are a couple options. You can either do it yourself or have us do it for you. Not everybody is a wizard at these things, like I was saying, and so we like to offer our users that upload as a service where you send us your inventory or past sales spreadsheets, and we'll make sure that they get into your account for you. Simple as that. You just upload a file. You'll click that, upload a file, and choose whether it's inventory or sales, and then send a request. And we will get that request and upload it as soon as we can. But today I'm actually showing you how to upload inventory yourself. So to do that, you'll just click on the Upload Inventory Yourself button, and it'll take you to this page. Now, here's that handy dandy tutorial that I'm filming right now. And you'll just follow these steps. So you want to make sure that everything is kind of as it should be before you upload. You don't want anything weird to happen. So following these steps is really important. First, you're just going to download the template. Easy enough. You'll just click the button here and it'll download. So everything that just happened was it downloading the template and automatically opening in Excel for me. So here we have the template. You'll see a bunch of column names at the top, but then everything else is blank. Okay, let's go back and look at the instructions. It says step 2, open the template. We did that. Copy and paste your own inventory data into the correct columns. Fill in as many columns as you wish. You can always add or edit the information after it's uploaded. However, do not remove or add columns to the template spreadsheet. Okay, that doesn't sound too difficult. So we'll go back to Excel. And here we have the template, and I also have opened my inventory. Now this is just a small sample of my inventory, so I'll have 20 or so sample items that I'm going to be uploading and show you how to do this with. Now you can upload up to 2,000 items at a time, and if you have more than 2,000 items in your inventory, just break it up into multiple templates of 2,000 each. And if you have even more than that, reach out to us and we can figure out a way to getting that info in quickly for you so you don't have to spend so much time breaking them into different spreadsheets if you have that many inventory items. Okay, anyway, the instructions say to copy and paste the information from my personal spreadsheet into the template. So if we look at the template, we'll see item. Okay, I know what item is. Looks like that's here. So I'm just going to take all of this, highlight it all by holding the Shift key and Control C to copy it. Head back to the template and Control V to paste it. I'll make that a little wider so you can see that better. Now all of that has been copied over. Now brand. Okay, it looks like I haven't been keeping track of brand on my own. That's not something that was in this my personal spreadsheet, but it is something that's included in Thrifters Scorecard. So there's a couple options. You can leave this blank. Like the instructions said, you can always go back and add that information later, or I can add it in right now if I want to. So for instance, this Marc Jacobs beige top, I know is from the brand Marc Jacobs. Now I could go through and do that for all of my items or worry about it later. It's completely up to you. And it looks like same thing for size. Again, that wasn't something that I was tracking on my own in my personal spreadsheet, but it is something that's offered within Thrifters Scorecard. So you can add it in or you could not. But just remember, the more you put into Thrifters Scorecard, the more data and analytics you will get out of it when it comes to analyzing your sales and really understanding what is selling best for you and, you know, just your business as a whole. So more information never hurts. Okay, the next is cost per unit. Now that is your cost of goods per item here. Now I do keep track of that here in my spreadsheet. So I'm going to do the same thing, copy and go back over here and go to cost per unit and paste those. Great. And same thing for list date. Okay, and SKU. SKU is going to be your custom inventory code, meaning the location of where you're storing the item, whether it's bin 7, A13, whatever your own personal system is. That's the information that goes under your SKU. And so let's see. Here I called it SKU location in my own inventory, but we're going to copy and paste that and put it under SKU again. Platforms is going to be all the platforms that this item is listed on. So a lot of people cross-list their items, say between Poshmark and eBay or Mercari, Citizen, all those other platforms. Thrifters Scorecard incorporates any and all of the platforms. You can add any item that you want or any platform that you want there. And this really is important as it helps you keep track of which items are listed on which platforms, because you don't want something to sell on eBay and not even know that it's listed on Poshmark and then it accidentally sells on Poshmark later on, for example. So it's important if you are cross-listing to keep track of which platforms your items are listed on. Okay, so for platforms, I was calling that cross-list, but makes perfect sense to me to copy and paste that. Go back to platforms. And there we are. So next we have category, subcategory, and market. These are additional fields for inventory items that just add a bit more detail and are helpful for analyzing your sales. For example, if you want to know if you sell more jeans than shoes, it's pulling the information from category and subcategory and the market fields here. So if we pop back over to Thrifters Scorecard really quick, you'll see that these are the categories I'm talking about. So there's a lot of choices. If you choose clothing, shoes, and accessories, that's where you'll get the market, which is like men's, women's, or kids. So there's a lot of choices there. And you may not want to spend the time to fill them all out right now to have them match identically to Thrifters Scorecard. You totally can add them now. What I recommend is adding them once you're inside the app because the drop downs will be right there handy for you. All right, next we have purchase date. Again, that's a date that some people keep track of. Maybe you don't. As you can see in my personal spreadsheet here, that wasn't something I was tracking, but again, it is an option within Thrifters Scorecard. So if you do have a purchase date, you can enter that here by copy and pasting it. And the next column is source, which is your purchase location or where you got the items from. So if you thrifted this item from Goodwill, maybe you could put Goodwill there. If you want to be more specific and you want to differentiate between different Goodwills, you can call it whatever you want, or if it was a bulk buy purchase, whatever. That's kind of your own way of just tracking where the items came from, and that'll be useful for knowing which sourcing locations are becoming best for you, right? Are you selling items for a higher price point from one thrift store versus another? Or are they selling faster than another source? Those kinds of things. So if you add a source, those are the kind of analytics that you can receive from that once the item sells. And then quantity. Quantity is going to be very important, especially for those bulk buy sellers who might buy, 300 of one product and list it on several platforms. And you don't want to have to enter 300 line items. That's insane and will take forever. So all you would have to do is say, I bought 300 of these black heart earrings. Just put 300 here. And Thrifters Scorecard will take care of it. They'll do the math to figure out, 300 times $3.45 to be your total cost for that purchase. If you only purchased one of each item, you can either leave this quantity section blank or just enter one kind of all the way down. It's whatever you would prefer, but Thrifters Scorecard will understand that if it's blank, it is a quantity of one. Okay, now let's hop back to the instructions really quick. All right, so we did not remove or add columns to the template spreadsheet. That's good. It's also important that you don't rename the columns. They are called to that for a reason. The next tip says make sure there are no dollar signs in your cost per unit column. It will not upload correctly with dollar signs present. Dates must also be in month, day, year format. All right, well, that's good to know because it looks like I do have some dollar signs here in my cost per unit. So if you have a lot of items here, you're not going to want to go through one at a time and delete the dollar sign. So a quick way of doing that is to highlight the whole column and then change the number formatting for it. So in this case, we will highlight cost per unit and then head over to this little section here under the home tab of your Excel page. Go to this drop down here, which is number format. And then you're going to choose an option, and this time it'll be just number. And that's going to get rid of all those dollar signs, which is nice and quick for you. Okay, so this is awesome. We fixed the cost per unit category. Now we want to make sure our list dates are formatted correctly. So using the same method, we're going to highlight the list date, and this applies also to purchase date. We're going to highlight that and then go to the number formatting section again. And you'll see more options. Now there's short date, and long date, but you'll see it's not really giving you examples of what those look like, and you want to make sure you're getting the full date you're looking for. So just click on more number formats, and it'll pop up with this. You can choose date, and then there'll be lots of different options you can have for date. So we're going to look for something that looks like this, where it has the full year there. Click OK, and there we go. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see. It'll have the date and the full year. So that is looking great. Let's pop back over to the instructions. All right, step 3, save the template with your data as a CSV file. Your CSV file cannot contain more than 2,000 items. Okay, this is what I was mentioning at the beginning. If you have more than 2,000 items, just batch it out into separate template sheets of 2,000. And again, if you have way more than that, just reach out to us and we can probably process the upload for you a lot quicker without breaking it up into chunks of 2,000. So I'm going to go ahead back to Excel and save the template. We'll do save as. You're going to want to make sure it's a CSV, which this is already, file format is already saved as a CSV. All right, pop back over to the instructions. We've saved it. We've made sure we don't have any $signs. And now we can click the upload button. Okay, so it's going to bring you to this page where you can just drag and drop your CSV file here, or you can browse using this button as well. But I'm just going to find it on my computer and just easily drop it into this little window. And now, like the instructions said, it's going to ask for an email, and I'm going to use my Thrifters Scorecard login email. And this is important to use that email since it will link your inventory to your account. So you want to make sure that those match. And then you'll click Test Validate. And this is just making sure that all the data looks good, nothing's wonky, and it's green, so that's a go. And then we're going to import 19 records. And it's going to think and do its thing. Awesome. So it looks like the import completed successfully. You'll also get an email with those results as well. And if any errors do occur, you will get an email with the errors as well. So you'll get a separate CSV that tells you exactly what the importer didn't like. And you can always reach out to us as well if you're encountering any problems. But it looks like this was a success, so we can close this window and pop back over to Thrifters Scorecard here. All right, so step 5, we've received a successful import result and we can check out our inventory. So just go ahead and click that button and it's going to do a last minute check, making sure all the data is good to go. It's thinking through each item, making sure that it is formatted correctly. So be patient as you can see the progress bar moving along here. All right, so now we are on our inventory scorecard page, and you can see here the items that we have just imported. And you'll notice I already had some inventory in here, so that's why I already have some numbers and stuff up here. I didn't import 792 things, but a big chunk of that is this 300 quantity listing that we did. So remember, we said we had 300 of the black heart earrings, so that's taken into account and shown up here at the number of items as well as the inventory cost. It's gonna do some math for us, so it'll be, you know, like I said, $3.45 times the 300. That's going into your total inventory cost here, and it will update as you change information regarding that item as well. So say you made a mistake, let's take this as an example, and you only have 250 of these. You thought it was 300, but it's only 250. So let's change that quantity real quick. And you can see all of the other information that we uploaded is here for us, including, you know, the cost is here, the SKU that we uploaded, the platforms that we said that was listed on. All of that information is here, and here you can add those categories like I was talking about. So just for the sake of example, we'll do that right now. These are earrings, so we will put them under jewelry and earrings, and then click update. and you'll see these numbers appear adjusted as I adjusted this quantity. But that's basically how you would go about uploading inventory into Thrifters Scorecard using a spreadsheet of your own. Now, once you have everything uploaded into the application, you really don't need to upload anything anymore. From now moving forward, you'll use the add inventory page, which is the page I showed you at the beginning where you can add one item at a time. This is what I do when I come home from the thrift store. I sit down with my receipt and I add my items in on this page here. And again, I have another video on my page that walks you through how to do that, as well as mark items as sold, which is a whole separate side of the application. So definitely come on back for more. I'll be putting up more tutorials like this in the future, and I hope to see you all soon.